So before I get into it today, I want to ask you something. Do you know your numbers, your financial numbers, your conversions numbers, your sales numbers? Do you know them on paper? Like, do you have them documented, or are they just floating around in your head? So put in the comments, numbers or head, to tell me where your number, how you know them, how you know or have clarity around your numbers. So most entrepreneurs believe that marketing, visibility, sales calls, getting more clients is the most important thing about their business. And it is. It is very important. Those are very important legs of your business. But there's another leg that is extremely important. And over 25 years of working with entrepreneurs in public practice, even in mentoring and leadership, I have seen this over and over again. Your numbers aren't current, and not even current. Sometimes they're years behind, not just months or days, but years behind. And successful CEOs, people who are really having a lot of financial success, their numbers are current. They know exactly where they stand every day, and it's extremely important for them to be able to read, navigate, and know how to work their numbers. And that's why I'm bringing this up today, because when you know your numbers, you can make clear decisions. You are in decisive power, and you might be feeling like the energy of, oh, I have to complete some things. There's unfinished business. And this is one area, especially because it is tax time in the big scheme of things in Canada and the US. It might be on your mind right now that you have to get things in order for your accountant. But what if you had it in order for you? Get it in order for you, not just for your accountant. So today we're talking about the currency of leadership. And the deeper thing I want to talk about is money lives in the current, okay? Not in the past, not in the future. It lives in this current, present moment. And money lives in our presence, in the awareness of the now. And that's why it's called currency. That's why it's called currency. It's not past tense-y, it's not future-y, it's currency, because money is present and it's neutral. And we are the ones that attach the energy to it. So if you're ignoring your numbers or avoiding your numbers or behind on your numbers, there's something there to look at. There's some unfinished business, and it's holding you in the past, and it's projecting your worry into the future. And so it is creating some form of a block in your revenue growth, in your success as a leader of your business. So I just want to ask you this question too, when was the last time you actually looked at your numbers? Like, not your goals, not the projections, not what you want to make. What's the last time you actually looked at what's happening right now? What's going on right now? How is your business doing right now? Your actual numbers, like the revenue, your sales, your expenses, what you're spending on, the cash flow, like the money coming in the bank, your bank balances, and the up and down of the bank balance. When's the last time you looked at that? And so type in the comments for me. A, it was today. B, it's this week. C, it was this month. Or D, you don't remember. So many purpose-driven entrepreneurs, and even like mainstream entrepreneurs, because I saw this a lot just working with your normal brick and mortar businesses as well, is that they abdicated the numbers to the accountant or to the bookkeeper. And oftentimes when they were given reports, they didn't even know how to read them. And they were all past figures too. So they weren't relevant anymore. And so I remember being in meetings with clients and like going over their books or their reports, and they kind of glaze over, they're not wanting to feel what's coming up for them. Like, ooh, I didn't realize I spent that much money. Oh, I thought I did better than that. That type of feelings and stuff is coming up. And so I have a lot of experience with navigating how people are reacting when you do present that type of information to them. And I have a lot of experience at seeing how they don't want to say they don't know how to read the financial statements, especially the balance sheet, which is the most important report because it gives you a very clear on snapshot in time, in the present moment, about your assets, what is owed to you, what you have that is, positive for you, and what is, what you owe and what are debts and stuff like that, which sometimes can feel like a negative thing for some people. And then the difference between that is either, a positive, a retained positive number, or a negative deficit loss number. And so I can understand why you don't want to look at your reports. But if you want to be a really successful business owner, doesn't matter if you're a spiritual entrepreneur, a mainstream brick and mortar, or a website designer, or a spiritual coach or a spiritual teacher, this is a critical arm of your business, a critical leg that is really important. And when it comes to the spiritual side, if you don't have this in order, it's going to, be an energy leak. And on the business side, which I can speak to both sides because I am a spiritual teacher and I am a business person and an accountant and an entrepreneur. On the business side, if you don't have this in order, you're going to be not able to make decisions and you're going to not know what's going on with your business. So it bridges both sides of business, spiritual and mainstream. And I think it's one of those, some people call me the shaman accountant or it's something that separates me because you don't really see it very much in corporate, somebody who has that spiritual side to them and gets the energy of money. So you don't want to be advocating responsibility. Okay, so it's fine if somebody's doing the data entry for you, but you need to know if they're doing it right. And you need to know if they're giving you the information you need, right? Like, are they offering up information to you? Because you can have people who just do the data and they don't give you any information, and then there's this excuse that gets used. Oh, well, my bookkeeper knows. That's not good enough. That's not good enough. That's not good enough. You need to know. You need to know. Because there's some tangible consequences when you don't know your numbers. And I'm going to read them off to you here. You're going to overspend. And you're going to overspend on the things that you really like to do, like travel, eating out, driving your car, doing the things that you think are business expenses that really, you love to do. You're going to overspend on those because they're for you too. You're going to miss out on revenue streams that are actually working. Like you might not, if you're not looking at your different revenue streams, you're going to miss out on which ones are working and which ones are not, and which ones have the bigger profit margin and which ones don't. So it's very critical to really know that, because what you love to do might not be your moneymaker. And how do you change that? How do you make it your moneymaker? So it's really valuable information to be looking at your numbers. You might keep selling things that aren't profitable, like have lost leaders and stuff like that. And they might be creating a bigger loss than you realize. You ignore the offers that could scale your income. So there might be something that could be really easy for you to make money with, but you're not paying attention to it because you're not seeing it. You're not looking at it. And then you might hesitate to invest in the right mentoring or professional development because you don't know how much money you have to spend. when you could really use that guidance too, when it could move the needle for you. And you might delay launches, and you might overspend on launches as well. Like, so if you're building a summit or an event or a retreat, you might not know, you might overspend in promoting it. So you need to know these marketing numbers that you're spending as well. And you're basically guessing. So this is like the number one thing that not knowing your numbers does, is you're guessing. And leaders, they're not usually guessers. They know. And they are in their decisive power. And you might even feel like, oh, I'm working hard all the time, but nothing seems to be happening in my business for me. That just starts to erode your confidence. That erodes your confidence. And one of the ways to get your confidence back is by looking at your numbers, because it creates this awareness of where you're at right now. And when you know where you're at, you can go where you want to go, because you're facing the music, so to say. So how can I know? Like, I know if you're behind, because I've been behind. And when I was working in the firms, I was the last one to file the tax return on the very last day. I was, getting my affairs in order last minute because I was putting everybody first. So you might be behind on your numbers because you're putting everyone else first. You're putting other things as priority first. But if you change it around, if you move it around to the opposite side and put your numbers first, then you're going to have so much more power and energy to serve everyone else. Same concept here in self-care as self-care. Numbers, knowing your numbers is self-care. So I did that a lot, put myself last, to be over responsible for everybody else's numbers. And then as I've been building my business, because I'm really fast and efficient at it, I gave myself this kind of reasoning. Oh, well, I can get it done really fast. I can do it really fast. But there was always something that was pulling me away from doing it and from getting it complete or getting it current. And I didn't realize that it was leaking energy as much as it was. I didn't realize that it physically leaked energy, that it was causing me to worry. It was causing me to guess, until I started paying attention to, my intuition telling me, get your numbers current. You got to, see where you're at. And there's a lot of energy pushing us towards finishing our unfinished business right now. And I was tuning into that. So last week, I spent the week, I got everything caught up. And while I was getting everything caught up, I had to research, what the hell did I do there? I had to do some of it twice because I did it wrong the first time, because I was guessing that, okay, I think I did this. But then when I came down to reconciling everything, I didn't do it that way. So I had to delete and redo it, so I wasted a lot of time because it wasn't current. And then when I was reading my reports, which is critical, you actually cannot do data entry without looking from both sides. And I know that bookkeepers only look at one side. They don't even look at financial reports. And I know that lots of really successful, they could be even more successful people, don't read their reports regularly because they think they know it all in their head of what's going on, and because there's money in the bank. But guess what? You could be even more successful if you were reading your statements, if you knew where to look as well. And so I was doing that for myself, and I realized oh, I made more money here than I thought I did. And then I went, oh, I way overspent on this. And overspending totally erodes your bottom line, erodes your profit. And so some people are not even paying themselves. I know that there's lots of successful business owners out there who have, profit, who are not even taking a wage or a dividend or money from the company. And that has also to do with not being current. Because if you were current, you would be paying yourself all the time. You'd be getting paid every 2 weeks from your company. And so this is something about entrepreneurship that kind of goes astray when you come from being an employee and you move into being an entrepreneur, or if you are used to somebody else doing it for you and you're not paying attention to it. It really becomes critical to know where you're at and know how to do it fast. You can do it fast. It can be something that you can stay up on all the time. But what I knew about myself, what I found out about myself last week is, like, as I started getting really current, like, I'm right to today. I'm up to today with my numbers. And when you're current, you can do a lot of it yourself because there's so much AI now out there to help you. And if you have the right training and support and you know where to look, you can do something really fast now. And what I noticed as I was getting really close to completing last week, all of a sudden I had this wave of energy. I had this wave of relief and this wave of knowing and decisive power that I could now decide where am I going to focus my energy and my power? Where am I going to focus my energy and attention? And I also remembered that this is a huge skill that I could teach others to do for themselves, to be even more successful and profitable in their business, along with the spiritual training, along with that as well. Because being an entrepreneur is a spiritual journey, and your business starts reflecting back to you what's going on for you. So if you're not paying attention to your numbers, there's some kind of avoidance there. There is some kind of shame, because I was feeling a lot of shame around, I should know better. I should know better. I should know better than this, because this is my expertise, mastery I have over this. So why am I letting myself down and putting other things in front of it, right? And I want you to realize that you don't need to let yourself down. This can be really something simple and easy for you to be current on. If you look at it, big corporations, big companies, they have their problems, yes, but the CEO is in direct communication with that CFO all the time. And they know their numbers every day. They know what the bank says. They know what, they get a highlight report on their desk every day. So you need to be your CEO, your CFO, and CEO when you're running your business, if you don't already have those people in your world, if you're not a really big corporation, if you're just starting out, or if you're even making $1 million or $2 million in revenue, you need to be that person for yourself if you don't have other people doing it for you right now. And one part of entrepreneurship that I've always known is that the main person knows how to do every part of the job. Doesn't mean you do it, but you know how to do every part of the job, and you know how it should be done. And when you know that, then it runs like a well-oiled machine that serves you and serves others. So leadership requires this awareness of what's the reality of your numbers. And they give you this awareness. And when your numbers are current, your decisions are faster, your confidence and your energy is high, you're actually excited about what you're doing every day. And after seeing so many entrepreneurs who are struggling with this, because when I was in the firm, it was really hard to get them to take their power back, get the entrepreneurs to see the patterns that were running through their books that I could see, because they didn't want to do it. They wanted to abdicate that responsibility, but I want to teach you how to take that responsibility back, because it's your power. It's your power. And I don't want you to struggle with this anymore. I want you to be wealthy. I want you to make that impact. I want you to succeed in your goals and your dreams and do your purpose work and realize that prosperity that you deserve, that you can create from doing what you love. And so I've curated a new offer for you. It's called the Current Activation. And this is a private leadership container where I guide entrepreneurs step by step in how to get current quickly, understand what your numbers are telling you, how to navigate them that works for you, and identify those hidden money leaks. Where are those money leaks happening? What are the feelings and stuff that come up with that too? And build a simple money habit for you, a money current habit for you that works for you. And then help you to step into that CEO, CFO, confident decision-making leadership identity that you embody. And this is designed for established entrepreneurs who are already generating revenue and want stronger financial leadership. And so if this activated something in you and you realize that your numbers might not be as current as they should be, or you want to get this part of your business running on 100% so that everything starts to line up for you, comment current below or DM me current, and I'll send you some questions to see if this is the right fit for you. And so before we close, I just want to ask, I'm curious, right now, would you say your numbers are A, completely current, B, mostly current, C, a little behind, or D, very behind? A, completely current, B, mostly current, C, a little behind, or D, very behind. So I'll leave you with that, and I look forward to connecting with you. Have a good day, and I'll see you next week.